So that's my 686 turbine chassis I've been working on. I changed some of the drivers. They were kind of wobbling a little bit. As you can guess, they're old Rivarossi drivers, so they're not perfect. Got a little bit of a wobble when it goes through the corners, but that's kind of normal. I changed the transmission. I actually stole the transmission out of one of my Berkshires for now, because I haven't received a couple of them that I ordered, and I didn't want to wait. Now that motor is a cheap 3-pole, not even skew wound motor. I put a flywheel on it to kind of help it out. It works all right. I think I'm going to put a bigger motor in it, but I got to build the shell first so I can see what size motor I can get in there. It operates all right for a homemade train. The low speed's not perfect, but it's not bad. It's pulling some weight behind it, so it does all right. It's got a little bit of speed to it. The last time this thing was on the track, it had the original Rivarossi motor in it. It was draining way too much current. Some of that was the gearbox that's mounted underneath this weight. Some of that was the gearbox when there was a load on the drivers. It would cause the gearbox to bind. Now it wouldn't bind if you were just kind of free spinning it like this, but if there was a load on it, it would bind. You know, any weight behind it, it would bind. So I took that gearbox out and changed it. The train runs a hell of a lot better. Still needs a little bit of work. I'm just waiting on some stuff so I can start building the shell. I was going to use the bottom part of the shell. I was going to use part of a 464 Challenger shell, which is basically just like a big boy, but it's a little shorter. I was going to use that, but I decided that I am going to use probably a 464 shell extended with another 464 shell. Not the top, the bottom. The top of the shell I'm going to make, most of it's going to be PVC piping, because the 686 turbine locomotive, the diameter from front to back is basically the same. It doesn't taper like the Malays do, or the big boy tapers a little bit. A big boy shell I could probably use if I wanted to ruin one, which I don't. So I would just assume I'm going to build basically my own from scratch. And that'll be kind of like what I did with the shell here is the 444N1, Baltimore, Ohio. That shell this whole section here is homemade piping. The rest of it is another piece of a Rivarossi shell. See how it tapers towards the front? Well, the turbine locomotive really doesn't do that. It's pretty much, it's like the S, not the S, it's more like, I don't know what number it is. The Pennsylvania, there we go, this one here. Yeah, the Pennsylvania 4464 is a very similar shell as far as the front. Where are you? Yeah, there you are. The front of the shell is very wide. The diameter is very wide, and it basically stays true until it gets to about the boiler part. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make my own top shell, and probably just use the cab from a Rivarossi. I may just completely make my own cab. I don't know yet. I just got to get this thing to run. It doesn't derail. It can run through the switches. Let's see what it does here. It's a pretty good puller. It should pull about 20 cars easily. Let's see what it does when we go through there. Oh. I had to switch off. So, I mean, it pulls those cars up the hill. It does alright. That's a 3+ grade. So I think that's pretty acceptable. The low speed's alright. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad. So anyway, there you have it. That's the update. It runs so much faster and more efficient with that new gearbox in it. I just got to sort out some of the other stuff, and I'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching.